Hey guys, I wanted to do a really quick video on finally putting an end to content creation overwhelm. And I created a guide for you, and I also created a template for you to be able to just literally come in here and click on create board from template, and you will have access to this. I will put a link to this video inside of here so you don't have to go searching for it. So once you have this board, you're going to have all the information you need to be able to have your content planned for the entire year. Finally, once and for all. So the first thing that we're going to do, and I pretty much created this for you, but we're going to break this down into 3 steps. We're going to go over your topics, the creation part, and the publishing, and then I will show you how to spin your content into 3 different assets. So let's go ahead and talk about the topics. So again, create the board in Trello, determine how often you want to publish content, whether it's once a month, twice a month, every other month, every week. Just determine how often you want to publish. And then add 6 to 12 lists to the board, and inside each list, create 4 separate cards. Now I have done that inside of here. And again, if you use Asana or something else, you can feel free to use the tools that you use. The reason I used Trello for this example is because if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of money to invest in tools, this is free. So let's go ahead and dive into the next step. You're going to create 6 to 12 problems that you can easily solve for your ideal prospect. You're going to add each problem to the top of the list of your Trello list, and then you're going to break down solving that problem into 4 different segments. So I have an example in here. So let's pretend like my problem that my niche is having is, that my niche is having is choosing a niche and knowing how they're going to serve them. So that's the problem. Now the solution is I can do some content around how to choose a niche. Second piece of content would be creating your ideal client avatar. The third one would be creating a success path for your ideal client avatar. How are you going to get them from point A to point B? And then determine what they'll sell and the price that they're going to sell it for. So all of this answers this problem. And this is something that I could talk about all day long. So this is so easy for me to talk about. So when you're creating your problems, what are the problems, like really big problems that are holding up your ideal client avatar, your prospect, from getting the results that they want, that you can easily solve? So just put them in each of these, just click inside of here and click problem 1 and then your solutions. So then what you want to do is you want to open up each card and just brain dump. Add links, whatever content you want that you're collecting information from, and you're going to continue to add to this. So each problem represents a month. So let's say that we're starting in January. So problem 1 is January. This is February's content. This is March, April, so on and so forth. So, and the reason why it's important to lay it out this way is because when you get to December and you come back to January, guess what you're going to do? You're going to create more content on this. And throughout the year, you've come into these cards and you've added more information in here so that next time you go create a new piece of content, you're going to have all this information compiled here. And every year it's just going to get better and better and better. Because the whole goal is to really serve our ideal client avatars at the highest level. So again, you're going to open up the card, brain dump, add links, all the stuff that you need in order to create that content. Once you have all of this filled out, you're going to move on to the next step. You have not created any content yet. This is all just a brain dumping exercise. Once you have that done, then you're going to move on to the next step. And don't overthink this. As long as you're 80% satisfied with what you've created in Trello, then you're going to move on. So then you're going to decide what is the easiest way for you to create this content. You are going to choose one when starting out. You can add more later. And this could be a podcast, a blog, a video, really anything that you can get out into the World Wide Web and in front of the person that you serve. So what you're going to do is you're going to create content for problem 1. You're going to choose a dedicated time to do this and commit to that time. Tell everyone in your life that you are going incognito. Shut off all your notifications, turn off your phone, and then I've got a link here for tools that can expedite this entire process as you are creating content. So moving on. Make sure once this content is finished that you store a copy of it inside a Trello or a link if you're using like Google Drive or Dropbox. But you want to come inside of here and you want to make sure that you link your doc here. Here's the attachment. You can copy and paste in a comment section, which should populate once you duplicate this board. Then what you're going to do is you're going to choose a tool that's going to help leverage your time. And so far, my favorite social media scheduling tool is Loomly. There's a link inside of here for you to be able to access it. Again, if you have questions or need help with anything, you can come inside of our members area and I'll be happy to help you with that or answer any questions you have. And then you can actually, let's say you're doing a video, you can actually schedule your lives. I wanted to throw this in here. Now, do not schedule lives to your paying members. But if you want to batch content like a tutorial like this, and you're like, oh my gosh, I am swamped and I need to batch my content and I got all this stuff to do and I promised this live, you can actually pre-record it, make it perfect, and then put it out to the world. And yes, it will show up live. You can schedule it. People will see it exactly as if you were scheduling a real live. So this is a great way to leverage your time. So this is my favorite tool here for going live. And as of the recording of this training, you can only schedule a live in a week in advance. So you can have all the videos done for the entire year if you wanted. And then you would have to just log in a week before you would go live and you can post it in there. So, or schedule it. Now let's move on to spinning your content. So this is something that's a little bit more advanced. Let's say that you have a podcast. So you've created your podcast and now you want to spin it into 2 more assets. So we want 3 assets. We want a blog and we want a video. And so what you'll do is you'll create your podcast and you can embed it on your website or wherever you're going to send people. But then you can upload it to Headliner. And or there's also, I forget some of the other tools that are out there, but there's other ones where you just search, how to convert a podcast into a video. You're going to find all kinds of stuff. I use Headliner. It's my favorite. It's easy. So you're going to convert it to a video and then you can upload it to YouTube and optimize it there. Then what you can also do is you can take those transcriptions from your podcast and you can download them, and literally like not even 10 minutes worth of work, you can create a blog. And so now you have 3 beautiful assets that you can embed onto your website, or you can decide to save them for the future for distribution later. So let's say in January you do a podcast on it, and then in May you decide to convert it to a video, and now you've got another asset. So you convert it to a video and you distribute that, and then let's say 3 months later you want to take that same asset and you want to make a blog post. That is something that you can just take one asset and you can spin it into several different marketing assets or content. So anyway, that is the quickest, easiest way. This is exactly what I do and what I've taught my students is break it down into 12 months, figure out what your top problems are. If there are only 6 problems you solve, then you're going to go January through June, and then you're going to repeat January. It's been 6 months since you've discussed that problem. Somebody needs to hear it. So don't worry about only having a few things that you discuss. I feel like this is where people get super overwhelmed. So that is all. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And again, if you really need some hand-holding or want help with this along the way, or a deeper training into some of the tools and things to speed up this process, then I would love to invite you into our group coaching community. And you can find more information about that at bocisland.com, BOC Island.com. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.